Hello everyone and welcome all of you to Unacademy, a platform where you can crack your toughest of examinations with the help of top educators, quality content, not to forget the great learning experience. Therefore, let us crack your 9th and 10th examinations with Unacademy, where Unacademy gives you the access to unlimited live and recorded courses from India's best educators. Before I proceed with giving you a little more information about Unacademy, let me introduce myself. I am Tasneem Ahmed and I have completed my Master's and MPhil in English. I have also been certified in TESOL. I have trained 1,000 plus students and I have 8 years of professional teaching experience. Therefore, be rest assured you are in good hands. Well, today's video is about phrasal verbs. Well, in this video, I'm going to be giving you the explanation of the phrasal verbs, and then I'm going to be taking you through a bunch of phrasal verbs along with the meaning and their usage. Stay tuned, but first, let me give you the information about Unacademy and what you can expect with Unacademy if you were to become the member or the subscriber. Well, for starters, you have daily live classes where you can chat with your educator, engage in discussions, ask your doubts, and answer polls, all while the class is going on. Number 2, you have live tests and quizzes where you can evaluate your preparation with our regular mock tests and quizzes and get detailed analysis on your performance. Number 3, you have structured courses. All our courses are structured in line with your exam syllabus to help you best prepare for it. Number 4, and the most important one, is the unlimited access. One subscription gets you the access to all our live and recorded courses to watch from the comfort of any of your device and anytime you want. All you have to do is buy the subscription and get the free live classes and prepare with top educators and get the comprehensive syllabus of mathematics or social science or Hindi or science or English. You can also talk to us on Telegram application by downloading the application and then typing the link in the URL and then clicking on join. Then you will have to download the Unacademy learning application on any one of your compatible devices. Finally, you will have to buy any one of these subscriptions available. Well, let me tell you, Unacademy offers you 6-month subscription, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, and then 48 months. The good news is, as you go higher with the time period, the discount on each subscription goes higher as well. That is, the 6 months course comes with a 33% discount, and the 12 months course comes with a 50% discount, and 24 months subscription comes with a 58% discount, and 36 months course comes with a 60% of discount, and then the 48 months subscription comes with 67% of discount. Well, that's not it. If you type the code TA01 when you proceed to pay, if you type this code when you proceed to pay, that is TA01, you get additional 10% on the discount, on the existing discount. That is, for example, let us say you were to buy the subscription for 12 months, which is already on the discount of 50%. And then you go ahead and you type the code TA01. You get additional 10%, and in total you get 60% of discount on the existing rate. That is, as opposed to 15,000 rupees, you will only have to pay 13,500 only. And for a month, you will only pay 1,125, and then you will have the access to all the subjects that you want to prepare from and any grade you want to refer to, be it 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th. Buy this subscription today. Go ahead for a 12-month subscription. 6 months would be lesser. 12 months, if you find it too much, then go for a 12-month subscription and take the advantage of the code TA01 and take that extra 10% discount on the available discount and buy the subscription, become the subscriber, and start preparing for your examinations today. Well, let us now move on to today's topic, which is phrasal verbs. Now, what is a verb? Verb is a word that denotes action. I hope you have watched all my videos on verbs, which I have put it up already. If you haven't, I suggest you go back and watch all of them. And today we are learning about phrasal verbs. Like I told you, verb is a word that denotes action. Let me give you an explanation. Let me tell you what are phrasal verbs. Now, a combination of a verb with a preposition or an adverb or both, and which functions like a verb and whose meaning is different from the combined meanings of the individual words, is called as a phrasal verb. Example, she burst out into tears and he called off the meeting. Now, in this particular statement, like I told you, verb and then like the formula goes, like the definition goes, it is a combination. A verb is a combination. Phrasal verb is a combination along with a preposition or an adverb. Well, let us take this example, which is burst out and called off. Now, this is not just one word. You cannot just say burst or you cannot just say called. You will have to use them along with these words that are attached. These words are actually called as adverb particles. These are adverbs and they are combined with the main verbs like burst and then called out. Sorry, called off, as in burst out and called off. So now these words, you cannot separate them. You will have to use them like this. You only use it as burst out and called off. You cannot just use, you can use the word burst alone, but then with a different meaning. But in this particular meaning, in this particular statement, the word burst out has been used as one word. It is a phrase. I hope you know what is a phrase, by the way. Phrase is actually a combination of a couple of words, as in 2 to 3 words put together, which has a meaning to it, but not complete meaning like a sentence. So we are talking about a phrase and a verb over here put together. So when a verb is put together with a preposition or an adverb, then you call that as a phrasal verb, just like burst out and called off. We are going to learn the meanings of these words in a while. Let me take you through a bunch of words which you can use, learn first over here, and then you can use it in your communicative English, or you can also use that in your writing English. Now let us begin with the first word, which is ask around. What is the meaning of this word ask around? You can see ask is the verb and around is your preposition. Now these words are put together and we have made one word, which is ask around. Now you can, because this functions like a main verb, you can also change the tense of the word, tense of the verb as well as you see fit. Now here you can see that I have used the same word as asked. Let me explain you the meaning of the word ask around. Ask many people the same question. So the meaning of the word, you cannot individually put the meaning over here. Individually, if you separate the word ask, it means asking. But what exactly? Not sure. But then asking around as in around. But when you put it together as an ask around, it has a different meaning altogether, which is ask many people the same question. So let us see how can we use this word or this phrase in a statement, and let us see the usage. Well, I told you that ask can use other tense as well, like this. Ben asked around for his watch, but no one knew. As in, let us imagine that Ben has lost his watch and he is looking for that particular watch. And while he was looking, he goes around asking everybody. He asked around whether they have checked, whether they have seen his watch or not. So to say that, we are saying it like this. Ben asked around for his watch, but no one knew. Well, here the usage of asked around. Emma usually asks around before buying a new novel. Now this is again, here you can see the tense of the verb has changed back, and then because we are using Emma, which is third person singular, third person singular. Now, I hope you remember when you use a third person singular subject, you will use the plus S verb. And because it is Emma is a third person singular subject, we are going ahead with plus S verb. I hope you know the different forms of the verb. Supposing if I take ask, it becomes asks, and then asking, asked, and asked. This being the root verb plus S, ing form, past tense, and past participle. I have been mentioning these terms repeatedly because these are important forms of the verbs which you need to remember so that you can use them in your statements meaningfully without any error. So like I told you here, Emma usually asks around before buying a new novel. So over here, Emma is we are referring to something that happens on a usual basis. That is, Emma usually asks around before buying a novel. So if she has to buy a novel, she goes around asking her friends or those people who have already read the particular novel. She wants to know what their opinion is about that particular novel before she could go ahead and buy. So here, asks around as in to many number of people to get an opinion or to get what they have to say. Next is add up to, meaning to seem reasonable, or the literal meaning as in add the numbers. To seem reasonable. Let us try and see the meaning of that statement. Now, when you say that adds up why he was late for the party, what did I say the meaning of add up to is? To seem reasonable. Now, if there is a situation like he was late for the party and there was a reason behind, and he comes late to the party and he explains his friends why he actually was late and couldn't come on time. So in that particular situation, he would be like, he explains the story and then his friends listen to the story patiently, and then they will be like, all right, now I understand, that adds up why he was late for the party. So they are accepting that his reason is actually the reason, or whatever the fact he has expressed, that seems reasonable and it is agreeable as well. Second meaning is to add the numbers like this. The numbers don't add up. As in, obviously, you are putting add up. Let us assume you have been to a restaurant and you've been given a bill in your hand, and the waiter, there is some kind of miscommunication or there is a problem with the bill, and you are like, check the bill, and you're like, the numbers don't add up. And then you approach the waiter and ask for a check, or ask for checking the numbers again or the bill again. So that is one. Number two, or you can also say the facts don't add up. For example, somebody is trying to convince you about something, and then you try hard, you find it really hard to believe about what they actually are trying to say. So in that particular situation, you'll be like, the facts don't add up. I don't know, I find it really hard to believe what you're saying. The facts don't add up at all. As in, that doesn't make any sense at all, whatever you are saying. That's unreasonable. So there you go. The meaning of add up. You can see that we have used it as add up and then adds up over here. Next is the phrasal verb back up. And the meaning of the word is to support someone or something. Back up has many different meanings. Let me take you through. Number one, I will back up your story. Now here, let me give you a scenario. Let us say there are two friends and they probably are going back home and they are supposed to go in front of their father, and they have done something mischievous or something naughty. So in that particular situation, the one friend is telling the other friend, they are kind of concocting a story there, and they are trying to tell each other like, okay, let me tell this excuse to my father so that he would believe. And then the other one is like, okay, fine, that seems like a very reasonable explanation. So yes, please go ahead with that story and I will totally back you up on your story. So it is like, I will back up your story. So that is one usage. Another one is to use it as a safety or to carry something as a safety, or to have it as a safety. Like, I have an extra set as a backup, as in you probably went out on a hiking or maybe swimming, and there you carried an extra set along with the particular dress, one dress that you had. So you had an extra set. So you are trying to tell your friend that you're trying to explain your friend that I have an extra set as a backup. So not to worry, even if this particular set gets drenched, not to worry, I have another set that as a backup. The next one is I have a backup plan. Well, assuming you're working for a company and you have come up with a plan, and you also need a backup plan, because supposing if the plan 1 fails, then there obviously needs to be plan 2 to get the product out there in the market. So you are like, don't worry, I have a backup plan if in case this plan fails. So that's how you use backup in a statement. Next is blow up, which means to burst or to explode. Well, the usages of these words would be, this phrase would be, the terrorists blew up the building. Well, blow up actually exactly means to burst or to explode with a bomb. Here we are talking about, when we say the terrorists blew up the building, we are literally talking about the bomb. Here, the car blew up the moment it hit the railing. Here we are talking about the car, it hit the railing and instantly it blew up. It exploded or it burst into fire. So this is talking about some as in like burning in fire or exploding. That's what it means to say blow up. The next words are bring about, which means to cause or to accomplish or to be the cause of. Let me give you examples and explain you that meaning clearly. He has brought about many changes in the administration. He has brought about many changes in the administration. As in, now there were many changes needed, required. So you had to accomplish that were all laid, that were all discussed in the meeting, and he had to put it into action. So he came into the administration and then he decided that he will bring in these rules, and then it means that he has brought about many changes, as in he has created or he has succeeded in bringing about many changes. That's what this means. Similarly, the Indian society needs to bring about. You can see how the word has changed from past to present over here. The Indian society needs to bring about huge change in their thinking. As in, you are trying to say that we have to make it happen. To bring about, it's more like make it happen or to accomplish. So the Indian society needs to make it happen or bring in or bring about huge change in their thinking. Next is bring up, which means to take care of during childhood. His father has brought him up the right way. Well, this is not difficult to understand. Well, let us see the change of the tense over here. Bring, which is in present, has been changed into past over here. And we have used it as like this. His father has brought him up the right way. So here this means that being raised from childhood, from infancy to being grown up. So here, to put that together, we say his father has brought him up the right way. Next is he has been brought up by a warrior woman who fought the odds. Again, with the same meaning, with the past usage, we are trying to say the same thing, that he has been raised by a warrior woman. Warrior woman as in the one who is pretty strong and who has been fighting all her life to succeed the odds. So there is the meaning of the word bring about. The next is break down, which means get upset, break down and cry. She broke down when she was bombarded with questions. Now here you can see the word break, which is in present, has been changed into past as broke. And we are using this in past tense. And we will say she broke down when she was bombarded with questions, meaning n number of questions were hurled towards her, assuming there is a situation, assuming she was into a problem, or she was out, or she was late, something. There is a situation, and she comes in and she is sitting there, and then her parents, her father and mother, start questioning her repeatedly, asking her too many number of questions, bombarding her with n number of questions, and she's unable to handle it, unable to take or unable to tolerate, and then she suddenly starts crying. So that is called as breakdown, or she broke down when she was bombarded with questions. The same is over here as well. He couldn't hold back anymore and broke down, as in he couldn't hold back anymore. That means he was trying to hold on to his emotions. He was trying really hard not to show his emotions, not to express his emotions to the world out there. But then he couldn't hold back anymore because it was too overwhelming. And then he breaks down and he starts crying. So breakdown means to get upset and cry. All right. The next one is, well, there is another meaning. Number one is getting upset, and there is another meaning to it, which is to stop functioning of a machine or a vehicle. As in, when it is used like this, let me tell you. Again, I have used the word break into broke in past tense. My car broke down in a deserted place, which means that my car broke down, which means it stopped functioning. It was running fine and suddenly it stopped functioning. Something went wrong. Maybe the engine wasn't working. There was something wrong. Maybe the fuel or ran out of the fuel or something, some reason. And due to some reason, my car broke down, and that too in a deserted place, as in where there was no one to help them out either. So my car broke down, which means it stopped functioning. Similarly, my air conditioner broke down in the middle of the night. Well, you can imagine if that happens, if it is a hot place, in fact, you can imagine if where people are actually surviving with the help of an air conditioner in that particular situation. If your air conditioner breaks down in the middle of the night, you can imagine the kind of situation that you would be in. Next is, well, the word break has been used as in past tense as broke down. Let us move on to the next one, which is break in. And the meaning of the word break in means force entry into a building, like this. The thieves broke in last night and robbed them of their valuables. So here, break, which is in present, has been used in past tense over here, like broke. Broke in. Broke in. Break in becomes broke in when you are trying to use that in past tense. And break in means thieves breaking in to a building. The thieves broke in last night and robbed them of their valuables. Or the people of the city have filed a complaint about a break-in. Now over here again, it is referring to somebody having forcibly broken maybe like they have broken the door and then they have entered without the permission. So that is called as forcibly entering. An entry without anybody's permission is referred to as break in. The next word is, phrasal verb is bring up, which means start talking about something, to bring up a topic or to bring up an issue, like this. She hates it when I bring up religion in our talks, as in to bring up the topic of religion. She hates it when I bring up, as in when you bring up the topic of religion. I don't like bringing up old issues. I don't like bringing up. You can see how the verb has changed from bring to bringing in an ing form. So here, this means I don't like bringing up old issues. So here, bring up means to bring up a topic or bring some issue in the middle. Next one is call off, which means to cancel a scheduled program. Now, the examples would be, they called off the meeting. Now you can see that the word call has been turned into called, into past tense. They called off the meeting, as in they cancelled the meeting. I had to call off the trip, as in I had to cancel the trip. everything planned was called off due to the lockdown. So everything planned was cancelled due to the lockdown. So the word called off or call off means cancel, something that has been scheduled already. Next is carry out, which means to get it done, to get the work done. How can we use that in a statement? Let us see. He was only carrying out the orders given by his superior. Now you can see the change of the word carry from carry to carrying over here, and the usage as well. He was only carrying out the orders given by his superior, which means he was only getting things done or getting the orders done according to the instructions given by his superior. Similarly, the second one, which is she carried out the plan as discussed in the meeting. Again, carried out as in to finish or to do it or to get it done. So she carried out the plan as discussed in the meeting means she completed the work which was given in, or the way they discussed it in a meeting. She completed the work. The next one is close down, which means to shut or to stop entirely. So when you use close down, or the past tense would be closed down, you can use it like this. He had to close down his business due to the lockdown, which means he had to completely shut it, as in no more functioning of that business anymore, as in he has completely closed it down or shut it entirely. The second one, which means many small-scale industries were closed down due to the lockdown. So, well, this is something that is true, that has happened. Many small-scale industries were closed completely, were shut down completely due to the lockdown. So to say that, shut down, we say closed down due to the lockdown. The next one is come across, which means to meet someone by accident, number one, and number two, or to find something by chance. Let us try and look for these two meanings in the usages. I came across her at the mall, which means you were at the mall, you did not expect her or to meet anybody, and you were at the mall and then you came across her. Probably your friend, perhaps. So you were at the mall and your friend is at the mall as well. So you came across her accidentally at the mall. Came across. The past tense of come is came across. He came across that blog on Facebook. He came across that blog on Facebook. So he was going through Facebook as usual, generally just scrolling it up on the newsfeed, and then suddenly he comes across an interesting blog. So to say that, we say he came across that blog on Facebook. Next one is I came across an interesting article. Similarly, perhaps I probably was reading a newspaper, or probably I was going through a magazine, or perhaps I was reading some blog and I came across an interesting article. I wasn't actually looking for something, but I accidentally came across something very interesting which I could find it interesting. So there are two meanings: meeting somebody accidentally or finding something, to find something by chance. The next one is to cut off, which means to shut off or stop abruptly. Cut off as in you were doing something, and abruptly that is brought to a halt, like this. In anger, he cut off his son's allowance. So he was angry with his son and he was to punish him or to ground him, he immediately cuts off his son's allowance. So in anger, he cut off his son's allowance. Now over here, cut is cut. There has been no change. But let me tell you, this has been used in past tense, because past tense of cut is cut and the past participle is also cut. It doesn't change unless you are using it in third person singular usage and in ing form. So Cut is present and past participle. And here we have used it in past, simple past usage. In anger, he cut off his son's allowance. So to do something abruptly, without any prior plan or without any prior thinking. She cut me off when I was speaking. So there were two people talking, or maybe a bunch, or maybe a group. They were all talking. They were putting forth, one person was putting forth her opinions to the audience, and then suddenly she was cut off in the middle. She was stopped without any, she had no idea that she would be stopped. She had a flow of thought, and she was cut off in the middle when she was speaking, which means she cut me off when I was speaking. The next word is draw up, which means to compose or write, to compose or write a form, or to draft. Here, this means that to create a document, or to write something, or to compose something, which means the usage would be she drew up a few guidelines to be followed, which means she drew up, as in she sat down and she wrote, or probably typed, anything for that matter, but then she drew up a few guidelines to be followed, which she can share it with her fellow mates or colleagues or whoever that is. A few plans were drawn up for his future. Now you can see the usage of the word draw. Here it is present, and here it is past, and here it has been used in past participle. Didn't I tell you? The past participle, the three forms, the five forms in fact, and out of those five, these are the three. That is draw, present, draw up, past tense, drew up, and then past participle, drawn up. A few plans were drawn up for his future. Again, sitting and probably writing or typing, but then creating a document or creating a draft or to compose something is called as draw up. The next is find out, as in to discover. Well, this is pretty close. This doesn't have a different meaning. So he found out, as in to found out. He found out about his plans, or he found out where he had gone wrong. Now, the only change is from find to found, which is the past tense. Next is get back, which means to return or recover. Now, here you can use this in different meanings. One is to return to the original place, or probably like getting back home, or to recover, as in to. Let me tell you how. I'm finding it hard to get back the book that I lent him the other day. As in, assuming your friend or there are two friends of yours, and one of your friend has given the other one a novel, and now he is asking his friend to return the book, but then he is not giving it back. So in that particular situation, you're sharing it with your friend, stating, I'm finding it hard to get back the book that I lent him the other day. He is not actually returning it. I've been asking him several number of times, but then he doesn't seem to return it. One is that. Number two, it is getting late. I need to get back home. Like I told you, to return to your place or to recover. Two usages. Recover, here it means recover, and here it means to return. The next is keep up, which means to maintain in good order or to continue. Now let us take the examples to clarify the meaning of this thing. I'm not going to keep up with this charade. Now this is, well, let me tell you the meaning of the charade first. It means pretense or pretending to do something. So assuming one of you and your friends are trying to, pretend as something else. And you've been doing it for a very long time, and then your friend is fed up with that, and then he or she comes to you and he or she tells you, I'm not going to keep up with this charade anymore, which means she's trying to say that she is not going to continue this anymore, and she is not going to do this anymore, and she is going to put in halt. Keep up means continue. Not going to keep up means discontinue, because we have used the word not over here. I managed to keep up. Okay, to is missing. Let us put it there. I managed to keep up the good work. So here I managed to continue the good work. So instead of saying continue, we are using the phrasal verb keep up the good work. If you have to use that in past tense, you can convert the word keep into kept. The past participle is also kept. Next one is leave out, which means to omit or to neglect. The usages would be, she left Emma and Alan out of the conversation. So here, this means that she should have in fact included them in the conversation. Probably they're having a conversation, bunch of friends have gathered around and they are actually having a conversation. And on purpose, she leaves Emma and Alan out. Leaves, or you can see leaves or left or leave. Now, leave is for I and you, which is first person and second person. If you use the word she or he or it in third person singular, you say leaves. And when you put that into past tense, you say left. So like that, she left Emma and Alan out of the conversation. She did not include them. She left them out. She neglected them. Next one is she left out 2 questions for want of time. She left out 2 questions for want of time. Probably this is a situation where she is writing her examination, where she is giving her test, and she couldn't complete the entire test because there was no time. For want of time means in need of time. So because there was no time left out, what she did was she left out 2 questions as she had no time, as she had to submit the test before time. That's what it means. Now let us move to the next one, which is let in, which means to allow or to come or to admit, which means let us use the usages over here. He was let in only after he produced the identity card, meaning he was only allowed inside to come in only after he produced the identity card. So instead of saying allowed inside, we are using let. Letting in new people into our lives is a risky task. Letting in, as in allowing people, new people inside into our lives, is a risky task. Now you can see the usage of let. Over here, let, the past tense of let is also let and the past participle is also let. This doesn't change. Whereas it becomes lets and it becomes letting, but the present tense is let and the past is also let and the past participle is also let. It doesn't change its form whatsoever. So here you can see I have used this in past tense. He was let in only after he produced the identity card. It is not present, but then it is in past tense. Similarly, letting in new people into our lives is a risky task. So letting has been used in continuous form. Now let us move on to the next one, which is let out, to release or to reveal. Let out means to release, as in to release somebody outside, out of the hold, or to reveal, probably a secret, to reveal a secret. Let us see how we can use that. The lawyer refused to let out any information about the case. So here it means to reveal, as in the lawyer refused to let out any information about the case. Assuming there are 2 lawyers fighting a case and one of the lawyer approaches the other one asking questions, and this lawyer is not ready to let out any information whatsoever, not ready to disclose any secret of his client whatsoever to the other lawyer. So the lawyer refused for what? To let out any information about the case, which means to reveal a secret. Next is to release. Let us see. Okay, with the meaning of release, if I have to give you a very easy explanation for this thing, you might have heard the song "Who Let the Dogs Out," right? So in that situation, the statement "Who let the dogs out" means who let the dogs out. So obviously the dogs were on leash and somebody had let them out of their leash. They were on hold. Now they've been let out, as in released. They've been released. Now the next one is she never let out a word about his absence. Similarly, she never revealed the secret about his absence. She never let out a word about his absence. Now let us go on to the next one, which is look after, which means to take care. Look after, to take care. The past tense of look is looked. You can say looked after as well, like the way we've used over here. She looked after him until he got a job, as in she took care of him until he got a job. Next one is our neighbors looked after us when our parents were at the hospital. Our parents looked after us when our parents were at the hospital. Over here, our neighbors were the ones who were actually taking care of us when our parents were at the hospital. So probably we are referring here to, not probably, we are referring here to kids. Kids were tiny, and then both the parents were at the hospital and somebody had to take care of those kids. And the neighbors came in to the rescue there, and the neighbors looked after us when our parents were at the hospital. Next one is look for, which means to search or to hunt. I have been looking for my black shirt for a month now, as in I am searching for my shirt for a month now. I can't find it. Looking for, you can see how the word look has been converted into looking for. Next is I look for new jobs every day. I look for new jobs every day. Here it has been used in present tense, in simple present. So look for or looking for means to search. The next usage is look up, which means to look up for in a book for reference, as in looking for a meaning of a word. When you use that in a statement like this, again, the past tense of look is looked, and obviously you're going to add the adverb there, which is up. I looked up the dictionary for the meaning. Obviously, for the meaning of a word. I looked up the dictionary for the meaning. Similarly, I look up new words every day to work on my vocabulary, as in I look up for the meanings of the words in my dictionary every day so as to improve my vocabulary, so as to improve my English. So I keep looking up for the meanings of the word. So that's what it means when you say look up. Look forward. Look forward means to be excited about a future event. To be excited about a future event, which means I am looking forward to meeting you. So here, meeting is going to happen probably tomorrow, the next day, and then you are already excited about it today, and you are telling that particular friend of yours, to whoever you are meeting, you tell that person stating, I'm looking forward to meeting you, meaning I'm excited to meet you. You can see look has been again changed into the ing form, looking forward. Next is she has worked hard and is looking forward for a promotion. Obviously, we are referring to something that she is excited about in future, about a future event. So she has really worked hard at her job and now she is expecting a promotion and she is desperately waiting. She is excitedly waiting for her promotion, for which we can say she has worked hard and is looking forward for a promotion. Next one is to look up to. Here we are referring to the word, three words, to look up to, meaning have a lot of respect to someone. When I say look up, the meaning of the word was look into a dictionary for the meaning, for a word, for the meaning of the word. Look up. But here I'm referring to look up to. And the meaning of that word is look at someone. I mean, respect someone. As in, children always look up to their parents, which means children always respect their parents. I always look up to him. He is my inspiration. As in, I always respect him because he is my inspiration. His students always looked up to him. As in, his students always respected him. Now you can see that your look has been used in present tense and looked up has been used in past tense. Now let us move on to this word, which is make up, which has a number of meanings, as in lie about something or compensate for something. Let us take a look at the example with the meaning lie. After seeing his angry face, she made up a story about something. Now the word make up has been changed into made up. Made up. Make has been converted into made, and after seeing his angry face, she made up a story about being late. Well, let us assume that she was home late and the father was really angry and she was scared to tell the truth. Assuming the worst, she just immediately realizes that the father is really angry and she cannot share the truth with him at the moment. So she's like, immediately she lies to him about something. And that is how you say that as she made up a story about being late. Then you have the next one, which is kids are good at making up stories. Well, this I think we all are aware of. Kids are so creative. Kids are so creative. When you ask them to say something, they come up with such amount of creativity and all of that. So ask them to make up something, they are very good at it. So kids are good at making up stories, as in lying. The next one is he couldn't make up for the lost time. And here we have used the same word with a different meaning, which is compensate for, which means he couldn't make up for the lost time. As in, probably he was away for a longer period of the time, away from his family, probably. And now it is impossible for him to make up, as in to compensate for that lost time. And to say that, we are saying we can say he couldn't make up for the lost time. Oh, well, that is all for today. I have shared a few phrasal verbs with you today. I will try and share more in the coming week. Well, thank you very much for watching. Do leave your comments below. I will be expecting your comments. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Do not forget to hit that bell icon if you haven't already. And the most important thing of all, do not forget to type the code TA01 to avail that extra 10% of discount on the existing discount that you have on the subscription. Therefore, let's crack 9th and 10th CBSE with buying the subscription and availing the maximum amount of discount that you possibly can. Join our Telegram group for our latest updates on our upcoming videos as well. Well, meet you all again very soon with few more phrasal verbs tomorrow with another video. Have a good day till then.